Good morning. What's up, unblinded world, and happy Why Wednesday. Fernando, brother, are you surfing this morning? Like, what's happening?
I am not surfing this morning. I do not have the blessing of watching the turtles go up Granny's driveway and make my way to pretend to surf while I actually swallow buckets of water. Luckily, you're blind and you don't see me like almost drowning, but that's what surfing looks like when I surf with you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, good morning to everybody. Happy Why Wednesday. So grateful to everybody for being here. And we're going to be dropping in a couple of topics, but you know what? We've had a couple of days of not bringing people up and chatting away and like seeing what's happening. Like, what's present for you in this Why Wednesday? And that question, let me be a little bit more focused. What right now are you the most proud of and excited about? Like in your life, could be anything, like most proud of, most excited about, like what juices you for today. It's August. Here we are. The world's like, oh my God, there's like Corona and things. And I'm not minimizing any of that. My heart goes out to anybody impacted by what's happening in any way in the world. But what's present, like the space of here is, the unblinding of truth about really large challenges and problems in the world, but also about loving our life minute to minute and day to day. Like realizing we can't control and fix everything right now in the world. We can take care of what we can take care of with us, have an intentional day, a structured day, and a fun and magical day. Right? Co-creating simple, fun, and magical micro distinction, frictionlessness, that free exponential abundance, like that's what we're up to. So like what's there, what's in your heart that you're excited about, you're proud of, you're ready for, but not as much on a heartfelt, soulful level, unless you want to, but like what's fun? Like what's fun? It's not Fun Friday, but what's fun? We hit a little Beach Boys today because the Beach Boys are fun. Like the Beach Boys are fun when they're not hanging out with Charles Manson. Story for a different day, Fernando, because I'm not sure you get either of those pop culture references. But yes, because one of the Beach Boys was friends with Charles Manson. Longer story for a different day. So Fernando, what's like fun and present for you? Not like I like to shoot water guns, but like what's a feeling for you right now that's present about your day and the things happening in the day? Yeah, what's up?
What is a feeling that's present to me on today? It is like the power, I guess, the feeling of vulnerable yet confront agreement formation. That is like the feeling I'm in. It's just like, kimono down, like this is what it is. Mutual accountability structure. I'm willing to do this. If you're willing to do that, you'll get this. And then when you get this, I'll get that. That is like what keeps running in my mind. Mutual accountability structure is like I have the feeling of vulnerable agreement formation present for me at the moment.
Cool. And what's fun? Like what's fun about mutually valuable, like effective relationship creation, like same side of the table, creating a relationship? Like what's fun about that?
What's fun is leverage. It's so much funner to do it. The person I have in my mind right now is like Jay Levine. Like he's just an energetic, fun dude. And he's just like a fun person to do things with, who is constantly high energy, who is running 1,000,000 miles an hour, who matches the pace. And he's like really silly and has like Corona Dew. And we're like way past the need of Corona Dew since barbers are open, but he's like really sticking with it. And that's fun. A fellow individual that's like down for Corona Dew, even though we can cut our hair, like that's fun for me. And that's someone that I want to like be in agreement and do stuff with.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And for today, our core takeaway message for today is the power of our reframing language. So the power of our reframing language. And I mentioned it, I think it was yesterday, it might've been Monday. I was out on a Platte trip. I heard the speaker speaking, and it was like very basic, very surface level stuff that really wasn't resonating. I'm like, man, like, I'd like to coach this guy on speaking because he's wildly successful. He speaks all over the place. I'm like, this is like not good. What's happening here? There's no resonance. There's no connection. There's no like variance. And it was like sort of, DJ, like kind of, I was just not landing, right? But then he got into a content piece that I thought was absolutely phenomenal and made everything exponentially worth the time investment of sitting through the chat. And what came away, and I mentioned it, but I want to really anchor on it in a little bit of a different angle, like from perspective, is how critical our language is, and our words. We have the opportunity for our words, like what if you varied your energy through your word choicing? So today we started with like the Beach Boys and fun. And now we're dropping into like some like Zeus energy, like directness. And then some aspirational energy, like just like what's the higher reason you're doing things? Like why are you here? Like aspirational dynamics, And in being asked how are the death of energetic variance, the death of energetic variance. Like, how do you feel about this statement? The death of energetic variance sits in the conditioned response we have to, hey, how are you doing? And what people reflexively, this is my story, the vast majority of people do, is reflex go, okay, good, yeah, good. Because we were conditioned, right? Fernando, I don't know what it was like for you growing up, but I'm curious. So in school, if people are like, hey, how you doing? Or even at the dinner table, I'm curious of what world you grew up in. If you said, what was the model you heard when people said, hey, how are you doing? What was the typical answer you heard? How are you doing?
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Having a good day.
Yeah. A muted, diluted version of what was happening, which has an impact. Like, we're answering the question, like, how are we? Like, well, I guess good. My mom's husband, Jerry, who I love, who's unbelievable, generous, kind, like present, like just unreal since the day he came into my mom's life, who he's been to my children, like went away on so many vacations with us. You know, he'd be picking up the check for $1,500 dinner at 7 Restaurant in Grand Cayman, like beating me to the check, made a point of it, refused to let me buy like his plane ticket, like just like these things that were really unique in my world, in my space, right? And you go to Jerry, he's a successful entrepreneur, sold his company. He was an NFL replacement ref, still like ref schemes for the Giants. So like he's at Giant practices. He loves the NFL, loves being there, truly having a good time, like talking to the coach and players, yelling at him about throwing penalties at practice that they were going to get stuff from the coaches for. Just like fun life, an intentional life that he leads. His wonderful brother owns a huge house, has this unbelievable 4th of July party, like fireworks, the police come and stop. It's like, town level fireworks at this party. Just a wonderful life. Good man, right? And Fernando, you know what Jerry's answer, and everybody out there would be for like, Jerry, how you doing? You know what Jerry's answer is?
Good.
It's worse. Because he's fun, and he has fun with it because he has a little bit of fun energy, but I think it has like larger ramifications. It's just, I'll be Jerry. Ask me, hey, Jerry, how you doing?
Hey, Jerry, how you doing?
Adequate. Now, it's funny, right? But like, it doesn't mean nothing. And in the world, the power of our language and our conditioning around it. So so that's like one level. The other level is, which I think is also not necessarily vibrationally effective or authentic. Ask me how I'm doing, Fernando.
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
I am great. Does that sound authentic?
No.
Yeah. So what I'm vibrationally suggesting, our nervous system, like wiring it in, is that we are critically reviewing our language. And refreshing this topic from the other day, this guy, Jesse was talking about this Navy SEAL that trained him. And he trained him to run ultra marathons. And one of the principles, the core principles, I was like, wow. Because I always listen through the prism of my own behavior first. I don't first think of, hey, oh yeah, that's what those people over there do. I'm like, well, what do I do? Right? And so I listen through the prism of what I do. And not to make myself feel better or worse, just to be accurate. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, wow. He said, never voice your pain. And I'm like, I voice my pain a lot. Like, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just really frustrated. I'm really aggravated. And Tony Robbins started moving in this space years ago when he met somebody from a spiritual person from, I believe it was India. And and Tony talks about this publicly, that the person began to challenge him about how, and I modeled Tony in this years ago. When he talked about the effective emotional states, he included frustration as an effective action forwarding emotional state. So Fernando, everybody, I was like, yes, frustration equals a good state. Tony Robbins fits it. So I was like, yeah, I'm great, but I'm frustrated. Like, and I would drive myself through frustration, right? So what I'm saying is there's two sources for this concept. There's a spiritual leader that challenged Tony Robbins. There's the Navy SEAL dude who, from two different perspectives, Navy SEAL, spiritual leader. Guess why I'm choosing that, Fernando and everybody? Because for some of you, Navy SEAL doesn't resonate, right? It's like, no, I like too much testosterone, Zeus energy, even though there's women Navy SEAls, CGI Jane, representing true story. at some level. It was based on a true story. And for some of you, spiritual leader resonates. Both said, essentially, to guard our words and language. So this person told Tony Robbins, like, live in a beautiful state, right? Not a peak state, like a beautiful state. And whatever a beautiful state means to you. I would say in the formula, it's one that is co-creating simple, fun, and magical micro distinctions and frictionlessness that free exponential abundance. I would call that a beautiful state. Whatever elements are required, like, are a part of that freeing, right? So tangible takeaway is, and the Navy SEAL is like, never give voice to your pain, right? Which I think is being in a beautiful state, because our pain could always be reframed. You know, if you look at, I think it's Bethany Hamilton, I think is her name. If I'm wrong on that, you know, fact check me. The one that was in the movie Soul Surfer was made about, was a surfer that had her arm bitten off and surfs again, right? Back in the ocean. And her reframing of the ocean is like, you know what? Like, shark doing what shark did, unbelievably rare. Actually, not shark doing what shark does. Sharks don't like eat people. Like, wildly crazy coincidence. I'm not going to have this shift me doing what I love. So, like, beautiful state. Like, beautiful state. Also, from what this Navy SEAL was saying, like, not giving voice to pain, like, not giving voice to fear. And so when this Navy SEAL was training this guy, Jesse, I'm going to tie this up with very tangible takeaways for everybody today. What he was suggesting, not suggesting, he was demanding in his coaching that helped this guy, Jesse, break through his barrier of 38 miles to 52 miles, is like, you're never tired. You're always energized. So mile 72, run this race with your toenails falling off and your feet bleeding, right? The space that you're in, is how are you, like, energized and ready, like demanding it from your body, like energized and ready, energized and ready. Because the reality is that energy is inside of us. It's not a fake lying answer. It's not inauthentic. It's not inauthentic when we've conditioned our nervous system to tap into the energy we have, the gratitude we have, the love we have, the reflexive answer of, I can shift this instantaneously to reframe what's happening. So I believe that the universe, or God, makes all things work together for good, right? So if I'm conditioned into that place, then I can authentically answer, like, you know what, Fernando? I'm great, brother. Like, life's amazing. Like, how are you? Like, it's like reframing us, conditioning us when the question is answered, even if we're not there, to like reset to the authentic truth of life is amazing. Like, yeah, I just found out that my retinitis pigmentosa is like progressing. I didn't, but let's say I did. And like, I realized I can't see like the pictures of my grandparents anymore, even peripherally, and really make anything out. Like, yeah, that's not my preference. And I'm great. I'm great because there's a huddle. I'm great because, you know, my daughter, who went through a rough senior year with Corona, challenging, is with her friends, like celebrating graduation in the beach house I worked for and bought. And the dreams that I had before she was born are like bearing out right now as she's enjoying that space with her friends. Like, what I would have wanted for her at 18 years old. Like, it's there, it's present, like, and on and on and on and on. So the takeaways for today in this Why Wednesday, like how we keep ourselves moving forward, is to truly condition ourselves, not just when we connect with our why, but at all times to be in a space of authentically connecting to truth, that we have all the love, the energy, the passion, the adventure, the connection, the leadership. We have everything inside of us, and we're freeing more of it, and we're developing more of it consistently. But we have everything we need right now at this point to authentically connect to, keep ourselves forwarding our action by being in this amazing place of that recognition that everything's simple, fun, and magical. It's all simple, fun, and magical. What I describe truly is simple, fun, and magical. It's just a choice in a moment to connect, to build, to free, like, who and what we are. So for you today, what are you going to choose to do? What are you going to choose when somebody asks you how you are? What's that going to do to your conditioning inside? How are you going to begin to rewire your brain to show up so it serves your heart, your soul, your dreams, your destiny, your legacy. My choice is that everything is a simple, fun, and magical micro distinction and frictionlessness that frees exponential abundance in my, yours, and every ecosystem I touch, right? Money, time, and magic. And the alternative choice for me, I choose, right, is just unacceptable because it puts me in a place of anger or frustration or a sense of loss or scarcity or fear or resentment. And those are just states I don't want to be experiencing. And states I don't have to experience. I have the choice. Not society, not the media, not my Catholic school nuns, like not my family, what they live in fear. I love them, but not any of those people. I have the choice. You have the choice. And it's simple, fun, and magical. It's not complex. It's not heavy lifting. It's freeing. Fernando, what say you, brother? So take it home.
It is not heavy. It is freeing. It is flow. And thank you for the reminder that frustration energy, I know we called it warrior energy. And I've been actually, you know what? Let me go with this. And I think I've shared this on the Huddle. And I've been practicing. I don't know if you've noticed it, but I called you randomly once, maybe 3 weeks ago. And I was like, I need to practice my fun energy. What do I do? Do you remember what you told me to do?
I think I told you to laugh at yourself.
You did. And you also said, every time I find something funny, to just laugh.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
And my girlfriend has found it like really funny how I'll like intentionally like unmute, laugh. And ever since I've been doing that, it's created access to fun points. I had a great conversation with Lily on the line the other day where like we dropped in some fun energy. And it was that one simple little habit. Just, hey, whenever you find something funny, and what the breakthrough, why I'm sharing it, is because I would actually hold back. When I would find something funny, I wouldn't laugh for, a number of reasons. And just that simple access point of just laugh. And I've been doing it, and it's created a massive access to fun energy. So I wanted to drop that in when people are like, what do I do? How do I vary? He just said, dude, every time you find something funny, just laugh. And it's worked. So back to you.
Well, yeah, thank you, Fernando, for that. Awesome. So what if, as we take this home, what would it look like if somebody does something that you would define, your story would be, it was amazingly hurtful, unbelievably upsetting, completely dishonest, like horrible, right? What if you just laugh? I'd be like, oh my goodness, another example of an opportunity to laugh at something that before would have done something different to me. And what if we literally approach things that way? What if we weren't driven by anger? What if we weren't driven by the need to beat somebody else? And by the way, that doesn't mean I'm taking back my $250,000 bet, because I think that blinds people for truth, but I think it could be fun. Like, yeah, go tell Grant Cardone. Somebody just came up with, what Dean Graciosi is like, oh, I have my like ethical influence program. Amazing. Tell Dean, I love him and would love to bet $250,000 that I will influence him on his real estate stuff. And it's not mean. It's like Muhammad Ali fun. It's like when we were on the playground of like, hey, let's race. That was fun. Like, I want to race you. It's fun. I want to race you. When did I want to race you become something that was like heavy, bad, negative? Like Muhammad Ali had lots of fun with the world, the most beloved athlete in the history of the world. And he challenged people and he had fun with it. He's like, I'm going to beat you. It's fun. What if it's fun that you don't, what if you, in finding the spirit of competition to conspire together, that it was in service of others and massively unlocking fun? Like, what if it's that? What if you enjoy it? What if you love it? What if you have a great time with it? What if we're not taking ourselves too seriously? What if we're not finding disrespect places? I'm somebody who finds disrespect places. Like, I'm very about respect. I find disrespect and I'm like disrespect. Like, I'm going to like crush it. Like, what if I wasn't, like, what if it was just funny and like loving? Like, wow, really? Like, oh, interesting. Like, and not like sarcastically, but just a different energy. What if we could free ourselves of all of these different heavy dynamics and we're more simple, fun, and magical as we exponentially grow money, time, and magic? What if we didn't have to discipline or like even hold accountable? What if we just like checked in on agreements? Like, what if it all became lighter, right? It doesn't mean it disappears. It doesn't mean that we don't have agreements and flow in them and make, and they're happening. And when they don't, we free the flow of it again. I'm finding new words for words I wouldn't have used before, but I'm giving this access this morning to play with this and not let it go. Like it's not going to just happen today in a second, or maybe it can. The first way that we create shift, though, is a decision. I offer the decision that it's simple, fun, and magical. Everything. It's simple, fun, and magical, or it has to be whatever you want it to be for you, and decide, hey, like it's not going to be this. That's your choice or not. Love you on this Why Wednesday. Have an amazing, unbelievable day, freeing your exponential acceleration, having fun doing it in your money, time, and magic. Thanks on behalf of the entire Unblinded team, Fernando, Adam, everybody. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day.